Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT specials is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
TWiT Live's special coverage of BlizzCon 2010 is brought to you by Slingbox. Watch your favorite TV shows when you're away from home with Slingbox. Check out a Slingbox at a Best Buy near you or visit slingbox.com/twit. All right, so what do you think, Scott? What are we going to hear? Somebody suggested we hear something about the Warcraft movie. I think that'd be interesting.
Well, I think the movie's actually going to be off the plate this year. There have been all kinds of reports and leaks and people mentioning things in interviews, either by accident or on purpose, that is all a little bit on hold right now. So Sam Raimi, director of the Spider-Man movies, the Evil Dead movies, and a bunch of other movies. Quick and the Dead, great movie, by the way. He was set to direct. They announced it last year, made a big deal out of it. And all of that stuff has kind of gotten put on hold. I mean, the good news was at the time, he wasn't going to do the next Spider-Man movie, so that kind of freed him up, everyone thought. But he's got other projects, I guess, that have come up since, and he has shifted his weight toward that stuff. My guess is, this is just a guess, but my guess is Blizzard does not want this property to be another throwaway video game movie. They want this to be something special. They want it to be something everyone can see, whether you played the game or not, but also retain all the things the fans want out of the lore and the story of Warcraft. So I think that they're holding off until they either get the right timing with the right director or they get the right story polished off. Who knows? Chris Metzen has a lot to do with that as well. I mean, he'll be basically credited for the screenplay in the end, is my guess. And I think that we're not going to hear a peep about that at this show, because I don't think they know enough about it to say anything.
Well, that's why we haven't heard a peep about the other game other than it exists, because they don't want to say anything until they are absolutely sure about what they're saying. And part of that has to do with their commitment to quality, is what they say, is like, look, we don't release things until they're ready. You know, that's one thing that we know about Blizzard. And the other is they don't want to have to backtrack on stuff, because they have the kind of audience that's going to hold them to whatever they say. You know,
Correct.
There's a ton of, not trolls per se, but folks who are like, I'm going to take every word that drops out of any Blizzard employee's mouth as gospel, and then I'm never going to forget that you said it.
That's true. Also, keep in mind, Blizzard's not afraid to cancel stuff well into development. And people will remember very well and vividly, the year was it 2006? I think 06 is when they dropped StarCraft Ghost, their big console project, which was a big third-person sort of stealth action game they were building around the StarCraft universe. It was going to be a whole new kind of game for them, a whole new place, and they had been showing it off in various forms at E3s and all kinds of other gaming conventions for years. And it looked like they were nearly done with this thing, and they canceled it. They just flat out said, you know what, it's not where we want it to be. We're done. We're not doing it anymore. They are not afraid to do that. And so even if we get an announcement today, a lot of longtime Blizzard fans know that doesn't necessarily mean they'll have this game in their hands anytime soon.
I'll work on that a little bit later.
Yeah, exactly. Cataclysm last year announced with no date, other information other than here's kind of what's going to go on with it. Here are the classes, here are the details, but we're not telling you when. And I was under the impression we weren't going to hear the date until this year's BlizzCon. Now, they did go ahead and announce that ahead of time and released the cinematic ahead of time. So that begs the question, what's your big announcement if you've already given away what could have been the big announcement?
Yeah, if you've already spent all your intellectual money on the things we thought they were going to announce, a new intro, dates for Cataclysm, we know we're going to hear about Diablo classes and stuff like that, but we're not going to give us anything huge in the area of StarCraft or Diablo in terms of announcements. I have to think it's this fourth IP. We know that it's not based on any current universes in the stable of games at Blizzard. So what more perfect platform than this to announce such a thing? And considering they've already kind of said everything else to some degree or another, it seems like a perfect plan to me. So if you want my bet, if I was a betting man, I'm throwing down for this new IP getting announced in the next half hour. So we're going to hear what this thing is.
Yeah, Michael Morhaime takes the stage, allegedly in 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll see if they start right on time or not. How long does he usually talk for? About an hour?
It's usually it's an hour on stage, essentially, but it's not him talking the whole time.
Right,
Typically, it's him announcing something, and then they'll do maybe video, or they'll do some gameplay footage, or whatever the thing is they want to talk about. And in this case, if it is a new IP, I'm guessing they have Jeff Kaplan or somebody like that who's been working on this new IP in a cave somewhere for the last 5 years, come out and do some talking about it, one of the lead designers.
If they didn't announce the new game, we keep calling it IP because that's kind of the idea is like, oh, it's new intellectual property, right?
Sure.
But it's a new game.
Sure, new game.
If they didn't do that, what are they left with? StarCraft 2 second expansion pack?
Well, their next expansion for StarCraft 2, which has already been announced, is Heart of the Swarm, which is the Zerg campaign. I'm sure we're going to hear this week or this weekend something about what else the Zerg campaign may include, including new units for multiplayer or something like that. That seems like a given. But it's just not big enough. And if it is what they get up and talk about, I feel like most of the fans will be a little bit disappointed. I mean, we're excited for Blizzard news, period. But if that's all it is, that will be a bit of a deflation because it's not really big news. It's sort of just par for the course stuff other game companies just put on a blog and announce. So I don't know. If they go down that road where it's just simply, hey, the expansion will be out and they give us a date, as cool as that is, that's not nearly as cool as some earth-shattering new game based on a whole new IP.
I also think that you might see Diablo 3, right?
Yeah, we may see a little Diablo 3 maybe. And he may use this opportunity on stage to talk about new classes. And Diablo 3 getting a date would be kind of big news. People are really chomping at the bit for that game. So it's not unheard of that might be the big announcement on stage, that Diablo 3 has a date, something we can actually look forward to. That would cause a lot of buzz. I'm super psyched about that particular game.
Veronica Belmont is in the chat room. This is where we look out in the audience. And we're like, oh, I see Ralph is here.
And Ralph with 2 Fs.
Veronica is here. Veronica, I know you. It sounds like you're fighting a cold, and I hope you feel better. If you felt like calling in on Skype, just let us know. Otherwise, relax, get better, enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
we wouldn't mind hearing from you for sure. Of course,
stuff's going around, man.
Yeah.
2 of my kids have a fever today. I have blizzard fever, though.
Yeah, a blizzard of fever. So we are mere minutes away. There's on the actual Blizzard coverage right now. They're showing a package of this their correspondent walking around the Blizzard campus. Right now, she's stealing stuffed animals.
That big, I must be on it. I'm probably slightly either behind or ahead of you. I don't know how the stream works that way. I think it's very individual. But right now she's showing me some. She's showing the stuff that's inset into that near that statue of the orc on the wolf, and it's basically just describing the culture of the company, commitment to quality, that kind of stuff.
I see her in the store right now, which is she's just taunting people that aren't allowed in the store, and she's looking at all the figurines.
I'm going to reset my live one, see if it changes. Oh yeah, she's in the store now. Nice.
So many cool things that we have still to come.
So many cool things they have still to come. Now they're doing the dance that we're doing, which is like, okay, we don't know when he's actually going to go on the stage. So 46 seconds. Here we go.
I don't mind the dude. By the way, this guy over here from Spike TV, he's okay. My only problem with the Spike dude is he calls Diablo Diablo, and it drives me bananas.
My only problem with him is he's not you. Like, really, you should be. I mean, he's fine. No disrespect to him, but come on.
He's all right.
Cat Hunter and Scott Johnson at BlizzCon? Are you kidding me? Killer.
Oh, my gosh. The world would end. TWiT needs more Terpster. Terpster is at the event, folks. So
yeah.
He is in the States at BlizzCon.
Many regular TNT folks are in there. We got Terpster out there, Patrick Beja's there, Nicole Spagnolo and Mark Spagnolo. I guess they haven't been on TNT, but they've been on Forecast.
Yep. My co-host of the instance, Randy Deluxe, is there, so he's one as well.
And Sam Jane.
Samantha Jane is there. They've got their baby. Token around a little.
The lights have gone down, and the opening ceremony seems to be beginning. This is live coverage of BlizzCon's opening ceremony keynote on TWiT.tv, brought to you by Slingbox. Slingbox brings you your TV however you want, anywhere you go. You just plug it into the internet, plug it into your television, and then you can watch the Blizzard opening ceremonies on your phone, on your laptop, wherever you go. Just whatever you got on your TV, there you go. We thank Slingbox for their support. Check it out at a Best Buy near you or at slingbox.com/twit. So, kind of a pastiche here that they're showing, a little montage.
Various games, various imagery from all 3 games. Now they're showing a lot of outer space. Okay, StarCraft, got it.
And some guy's taking the stage. I don't know. They didn't put a lower third down, so I don't know who he is.
Steve Jobs look-alike.
And I'm one of the lead artists on the World of Warcraft.
It's actually the lead artist. It's not Morhaime.
Thank you.
It's not Didier, is it? I can't see.
BlizzCon.
Nope.
Who
Gary
here
Plattner.
has never been to BlizzCon before, and this is your very first time?
Is Gary Plattner warming up the crowd for Morhaime?
I think so. That must be what they're doing.
Most of you
But you know,
we are a very close family.
Morhaime music comes out and kind of stays on message.
Here that last a lifetime. All right.
He's very...
Couple of quick announcements.
Gotcha.
Remember to
One
keep
thing.
all
Here we go.
hands
We're going
on.
to talk about the new IP. Stay on course. Stay the course. Release
Dude, you
dates.
never told
Not
me.
going to say it.
You never told me you did a good George Bush Sr. I feel like you've been holding back.
It just doesn't come up much these days. Also, thank you for saying it was
The
good.
tournaments and our closing night concert.
It was good, actually. It was really well. I don't know if you're doing a better Dana Carvey or a better.
It's probably an
George Bush
imitation of Dana Carvey imitating.
This
Yeah.
hall, okay? Also, don't forget to pick up your...
This is the briefing right now. Plattner's basically saying, don't forget to pick up your swag bag. You may not be able to get back in the hall if you leave. Pick up
It's a
your
weird choice to have him
programs.
do that.
Which are located between...
No flash
really-
photography. Everyone keep an eye on your kids.
It's a strange pick for him.
The concierge is located between Hall B and Hall C. Restrooms are available. Your nearest exit may be behind you. Should the conference hall decompress, airbags will drop from the ceiling.
I've heard the worst thing you want to do is use the BlizzCon bathroom. I've heard that from a few people.
Now, they're doing appropriate audience reactions. Now, it's funny, they do this at Letterman, too, when I went there. Before you go in, they tell you what it's okay. Like, you can't yell out things. They don't want you to groan or boo or anything like that. Really? They think they're going to, like, cajole this entire huge audience? I don't know. It looks like it's close to 1,000 people in that hall.
Yeah, and it's also a jaded gamer audience, which is not, they don't love being told what to do.
No.
Typically.
I mean, they're very enthusiastic about Blizzard. Don't get me wrong. They wouldn't have gone through all the trouble to go there.
Oh, my God. Woo! I think you've...
All right, this is terrible.
Yeah, he's coaching the... He's really coaching the audience. He's like, I want to hear you clap.
Oh, wow. Woo! Yeah.
They should have done this prior to the actual event.
I think so. I think if you think this through later, they might go, you know what? Let's actually stay on the coverage. Do this before 11 a.m. and then we cut after he's done coaching the audience. But all right, whatever.
It's probably the guy in the art department that gets told that he's funny all the time. That's my guess.
Mammoth is like, why aren't you following his instructions? We should be getting loud right now if we were following his instructions.
Ready? One.
I wonder what Patrick's doing. He works for Blizzard, so he's probably behind the scenes there cranking something out.
Yeah, he said he was going to be pretty much going almost 24/7 in the press room, doing press dinners, all that stuff.
Ready to get the thing started. Are you ready?
Oh, now he's asking if they're ready to get the thing started. Do you think they are?
Ladies and gentlemen,
What if they just went,
I don't know. I mean,
nah, we actually like this.
they all spend hundreds of dollars to get there. They don't want to be there.
All right, Mr. Mike Morhaime is now taking the stage. He's dressed in a nice bowling shirt, it looks like. Blue and black stripe, the big blue and black stripe down the thing. President and CEO, by the way, of Blizzard, not of Activision Blizzard, of course.
Correct. That would be Bobby Kotick, and we do not want to hear from him today.
Yeah.
I'm refreshing the stream because mine is way off.
I look forward to BlizzCon every year.
He looks forward to BlizzCon every year.
Because it's a chance for me to spend time with the most passionate,
because we make so much money. I mean, I love the community. Now he really does, actually. He's one of the few people I believe when he says something like that.
Now, Morhaime is cut from special cloth. There's no question.
And from 28 countries around the world. Thank you for choosing to spend the next 2 days here with us in Anaheim. We're going to have a great time.
He was there when the company was a wee fledgling business back in 1992.
Special year for Blizzard. In addition to launching StarCraft 2 and preparing for the upcoming launch of Cataclysm, all in a single year.
That's true. They did 2 big launches this year, or will do.
Yep.
As well.
Very unusual for Blizzard. Yeah, it's very strange for them.
So we're here to announce no launches for the next 3 years. We're tired. No, that's not what they said.
World of Warcraft turned 5 last year.
Warcraft turned, this is sort of the typical Steve Jobs presentation pattern these days, is to give a little bit of the stats. They're not doing sales figures here, but they're saying, Warcraft turned 5. It's our 10th anniversary. Community is 12 million strong. So opening with the numbers, it's the thing to do in a keynote.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me. Especially, they have real numbers to clap about. I mean, Blizzard has done some things in the last 5-6 years that are pretty incredible and seismic in the gaming industry. So I think he should get to do that all he wants.
This coming February will mark Blizzard Entertainment's 20th anniversary.
Goodness.
Things were very different when Alan, Frank, and I decided to start this company back in 1991. There was no World Wide Web. Britney Spears.
That's really weird to hear.
Making her first appearance on Star Search. We had
there was no World Wide Web when he started the company in 1991.
That was the year Terminator 2.
I guess there was a little bit. Berners-Lee was tinkering.
Yeah. Well, you and I were like 20.
21.
21, yeah. Weird.
And back then, there were only 3.
Tom Merritt could legally buy beer when I started this company.
As opposed to...
he didn't say that. But. There were only 3 great Star Wars movies. Wow, Morhaime.
I'm just
That's
kidding.
Pretty...
It really is a remarkable thing when you look
they're
at
not doing any... They don't do any LucasArts IPs, so they're all right.
Over the years. Our success and adventures would not have been possible.
Well, they're not gonna do it.
So on behalf of everyone at Blizzard, I'd like to thank you for keeping us
on
our
thanking
toes
the community now.
And keeping
just
to
putting everything in perspective.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, it's fine. As long as it doesn't drag on.
Give yourselves a huge round of
applause. Give yourselves a huge round of applause. So if you feel you deserve applause for helping make Blizzard what it is today by spending your $14.99 a month, give yourself a round of applause right now.
In addition to all of you here today in Anaheim, we were fortunate to have more than 100,000 people across more than 100 countries watching BlizzCon live, online, and on television via DirecTV.
That's us, 100,000 people.
Regardless of whether you're joining us
watching on DirecTV over Slingbox.
You're going to see a lot of new things here at BlizzCon this year. For starters, the StarCraft 2 development team has been working on 4 custom games using the map editor.
StarCraft 2 development team, 4 custom games.
The Iron
Was that
Chef.
first?
Bejeweled? Iron Chef? Left to Die?
And Blizzard
Oh, not Bejeweled, just Jewel.
Blizzard Throwdown.
Those of you in attendance here will be the first people in the world to try them out.
You get to try out those they're new maps, I guess, right? Scenarios.
This is the equivalent of announcing the new Nano, and they'll get to like any iPhone at the end.
Right. These are new scenarios.
Yep.
Custom games.
Which
free
is great.
to StarCraft 2 players. That's nice.
3 custom games from the community map making contests. And our hats are off to the designers who came up with some pretty creative ideas. This year at BlizzCon, we also have 2 brand new stages for you to check out in Hall B.
Okay, they're talking about the conference, the 2 new stages.
Feature artists showing their process.
So they went right off of like, hey, we got free custom games, and the community makes some great games. All right, let's go back into boring stuff.
On the game show stage,
this is stuff you can find in your program, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway.
StarCraft and
it's cool that they've got a breadth of content this year that you can get more access to. I'm really excited about that.
Cool.
But
we're also doing
I think they ought to just
completely new this year called
not
Blizz
talk about
Chat. which will be a series of live community discussions.
Live community discussions
with a Blizzard moderator.
With a Blizzard moderator. Is this for offline people? Or I mean,
Hall A to participate in the topic of your choice.
Oh, you have to go to Hall A to participate in the chat.
I want to take a moment.
So it's not an internet
to
thing.
recognize a truly amazing contribution that you folks made this past year.
Oh, now he's going to thank the community again.
You paid us every month for a year.
We were able to donate more than $1.1 million.
Donated $1.1 million to Make-A-Wish, thanks to the purchasing of the Pandaren Monk in-game pet.
Yeah, which I did.
I did that too.
And I also bought the out-game pet.
A real panda?
Yeah.
A real monk?
Thank you.
Uh-oh, he lost his place on the prompter, I think.
Okay, guys.
He's stuck. He's just kind of looking off into space.
Let me have a big for the Horde.
He's asking for a big for the Horde to buy him some time. I bet it was a prompter
I'm telling you, they're Horde fans, dude.
Here?
He also said, is the Alliance here? But not a for the Alliance request. Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This is a big argument every year.
That we'll be offering another charity pet, the Moonkin Hatchling.
The Moonkin Hatchling will be another charity pet.
So check the website for more details about that.
See, I'm behind the idea of paying for pets for charity. I think that is a great way to leverage that stuff.
They're announcing hardware. Auctioning off.
Yeah, auctioning.
Actual World of Warcraft server hardware.
100% of the net proceeds will be donated to charity.
So you'll be able to buy a realm. One of the servers that ran a realm. A specific realm. You'll know which one. And all the proceeds go to charity.
This wasn't such a great year for the Lich King. Thanks to you, Arthas has been slain about 489,000 times.
Oh my gosh,
Arthas has been slain 489,000 times. Not a good year for the Lich King.
I want to give a
Or as the captioning says, the Lynch King.
Yeah, the Lynch King. The chat room can't hear this audio at all, can they?
No, they
the
can't.
stream.
And it was
Yeah.
awesome to
I keep forgetting that. We got to tell them
all
more.
of them to Northrend.
That's
And
crazy. That's
welcoming
a lot of
China to
killings of
Northrend.
Lich King.
Hello, China.
Yeah.
Another reason 2010 is a big year for Blizzard is that this is the first time since 1998
First time since 1998 they will have launched two games in the same year.
It was
again going back to that.
Brood War. It was Brood War and StarCraft that year.
Oh, really?
So
In
they
98?
put out that game and an expansion that same year.
All the way across the sky.
98 was an amazing year in
And
games.
he's making a
Blizzard
double
had-
rainbow joke.
What does it mean? As you're probably aware, back on July 27th, we launched StarCraft 2 simultaneously on continents.
He says, you might be
and
aware we
11
launched StarCraft 2 July
languages.
27th.
An
I think this audience is
accomplishment
probably
truly
aware of that.
global proportions.
You'd think.
When we debuted the Ghost of the Past cinematic trailer shortly before release, you guys made it the single most watched video on YouTube that week. That's
Talking
right.
about how everybody
At least
watched
one
the
week.
StarCraft trailer,
One
made it the single
glorious
most watched video on
The
YouTube
Terran
that week.
Marines managed to defeat Justin
I wonder how the Cataclysm one fared.
Within 2 days of release, you all helped make StarCraft 2 the biggest PC game of 2010.
StarCraft 2, the
Yeah.
biggest PC game of 2010. No big surprise there.
Yeah, highest selling RTS of all time, which is interesting as
By the
well.
end of 1 month, the StarCraft 2 community was already 3 million players strong.
Oh, 3 million players at the end of 1 month,
Together
Tom.
with StarCraft 2,
Yeah.
we also launched the new Battle.net
That's no
service.
Warcraft.
To date, more than 91 million StarCraft 2 ranked matches have been played on the new Battle.net.
Wow, we're going back into stats land again.
There have been hundreds
for sure.
of
A lot of
esports
StarCraft
competitions
stats. Now, does this mean he's going to lead into some kind of
this year,
StarCraft
such
announcement?
as those hosted by Major League
Well,
Gaming.
If we get Universe of StarCraft MMO, I would not be
In addition,
unhappy.
Dom
I don't think it's going to
kicked off
happen,
the
but
first season of the Korean Global StarCraft 2 League.
Talking about some league play.
yeah.
The total prize pool for the GSL this year
Of course,
is more
new
than $500,000.
StarCraft 2 to the Korean leagues. They've been playing
The largest prize
StarCraft
pool in
forever.
the history of StarCraft esports.
Yeah, they made it a national sport over there.
As many
They're
of you
crazy
know,
about their StarCraft
A
for
player
sure.
named Fruit Dealer recently came out of retirement,
Fruit dealer, dude.
and he won $90,000
Came out of retirement.
in the first
Yeah, that's a big deal.
GSL. His story is pretty remarkable. The Zerg, we would have asked him to come out of retirement a long time ago.
They're making jokes about how if they knew how good he would be against the Zerg, they would have brought him out of retirement a long time ago.
Let's take a
He's
look back
supposed to be the best Terran player ever, and he's there, I believe. I think he's at the event. Recap.
All right, so now we're going to look at BlizzCon 2009. You know what happened in BlizzCon 2009? They announced Cataclysm. There you go. There's your BlizzCon 2009 recap.
Well, technically they announced the StarCraft beta announcement, but they didn't announce the release date.
2009 in Anaheim, California. Got 2 days.
There's Metzen. Yeah, they announced it's been a long time since we had a Diablo announcement. The last thing we heard was the monk.
Was created to celebrate Blizzard games, our shared passions, and the Blizzard gaming community. You all are part of something.
Morhaime looked more George Lucas-like last year.
That's a good say.
World of Warcraft, Cataclysm.
So, yeah, I guess this is a time filler for them, and it gets the crowd all riled up because they see some cool video and all of that sort of thing. But he's only got 45 more minutes. We haven't gotten anything really juicy yet.
No, nothing meaty yet.
What do we, let's think. We got a new charity pet, right?
Charity pet, bunch of stats about success, stats about how long they've been doing this.
The server auction, that's pretty cool, actually. They're going to be auctioning off an actual really server, and you'll know which realm you're buying, which realm that server served. Will it have the data on it? That's what I would do. Would I be able to set that thing up in my house and play off that realm?
I doubt it.
They're not going to allow it.
It's already strictly prohibited to run your own individual realms, which people do. People have all kinds of offline or out of Blizzard's control realms where they cheat like crazy. So I'm guessing that's not the case. But I'm still really hopeful we're going to get something groundbreaking here, because the fact that he's leading in with all this small talk makes me think we're going to get something big.
It wouldn't be possible.
You think it's sort of like setting the bar really low so you can punch through? Because I would think almost this low small talk makes a lesser announcement seem bigger.
That's a good point.
Like he's,
I don't know,
pulling his left back.
A bit of that is my sort of hopefulness about all of this, but there's time. We got a little time here. There's enough time to announce some amazing new stuff.
Yeah, and like all of these sorts of announcements, you don't get the juicy stuff till the end. That's why Steve Jobs is so famous for one more thing. You know, you want to keep people interested and hanging on the edge of their seat all the way through. It's just good storytelling. But boy, is this a long recap.
I declare the Global StarCraft 2 League open.
What strikes me most about watching this recap is how different Morhaime looks.
Yeah, it really does look different. He's shaped up. He looks older now.
Do you think he looks older now? I was going to say it almost looks like he looked older last year.
See, I think he looks old. I think people with beards, and this is not a nod to you or me, I think it makes us look a little younger at our sort of reaching middle-age-ish age.
Yeah, if you keep it trimmed, it just looks like, he's just gone through puberty.
I didn't start growing. I couldn't grow a hair on my face until I was about 20.
So Fruit Dealer won last year.
Yeah, he did.
He's the Korean superstar StarCraft player that we were talking about earlier. Came out of retirement.
I may have Fruit Dealer mixed up with another dude, but I think it is him we're talking about.
I'm pleased to announce that both Fruit Dealer and Slayer's Boxer are here at BlizzCon.
Both Fruit Dealer and Slayer's Boxer are at BlizzCon.
Yeah, Boxer's the guy I'm thinking
they'll
of.
be battling each other in a StarCraft 2 exhibition match. This is kind of like
they're going to battle each other.
Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant going one-on-one.
I think a lot of people don't realize that how big StarCraft is as a professional sport in Korea. Because the audience isn't really reacting, because this is mostly a U.S. audience. They're like, oh, yeah, that's cool. If this was in Korea, the audience would be going nuts for those two people.
Well, and they have to do this. They have to give those nods to Asia, because Asia is a huge part of their market. They're a huge part of their growth, and they can't ignore it.
They're all tuned in right now.
It is a national pastime. It is their national sport in Korea. It is bananas up there, so they have to do this kind of talk. There's no way around.
For glory at a future BlizzCon. Good luck.
In the meantime, one last thing.
You can test your mettle in our StarCraft 2 King of the Hill tournament.
King of the Hill tournament, StarCraft 2.
Before I get out of here,
Fine. Hey, if you're looking for This Week in Law, we are preempting it for the BlizzCon coverage. Denise was nice enough to let us use the time slot, so it will come immediately after the end of the BlizzCon coverage, around 12:15.
There's Christy Golden and Richard Knacker here. You can stop by the Pocketbooks booth in Hall B to meet them and copy.
Again, promoting more events at the conference.
Yeah, promoting books and stuff to buy. They're talking about Jay Moore. He's the comedian that often or has hosted their community contest for 4 years now. Not a huge Jay Moore fan, but he does pretty good here.
So let me just tell you, these contests are a must-see event. The fun right here on the main stage at 6 p.m.
All right, so he's given more times, more places.
Come on.
We have a closing act.
All right, now he's going to talk about Tenacious D. Tenacious D, by the way, is playing. You can watch that if you pay for the pay-per-view stream.
So
the Ozzy concert was okay, but I could barely hear the Ozzy thing last year. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, I could have lived without it.
Yeah.
So after thinking about it long and hard, we realized what we needed was a band with the power to kill a from 200 yards away with mind bullets.
So they're doing some nerd cred stuff.
A band that plays their guitar nothing less than picks of destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are thrilled to be joined by Tenacious D.
It is the, Tom, I will say this, it is the perfect band choice.
A word of caution.
Sorry, what?
It is the perfect band choice for BlizzCon. If you're going to have BlizzCon, Tenacious D is a perfect choice.
Some of the band's content in the closing ceremony will not be appropriate for every age group. It probably won't be appropriate.
Now he's giving an age-appropriate warning for the Tenacious D because they say the curse words.
Deathwing will wreak havoc.
Okay. Now he's giving the announcement of Cataclysm coming out December 7th, the day that will live in infamy for another reason now.
And love. And these changes will be nothing short of epic.
This isn't a new announcement if you hadn't heard for some reason. This was announced a while back.
And I cannot wait for you
guys this is not new. This is not.
To play a near final version of the game, go over to Hall A and stop by the World of Warcraft Arena, where we have a ton of machines loaded up with the beta.
So you can play the beta at the conference.
And it's looking really awesome.
Yeah, I think, I suspect they do a lot of this stuff so the folks watching on DirecTV get all excited and want to try to actually come to the conference next year and spend more money.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
I download patches from you guys all the time. Why can't I just download the expansion and start playing as soon as it goes live?
We already know this, too. This is not news.
We thought that was
They're already doing this.
Which is?
Pre-order the download. You can get the digital copy of the game without having to go get it. You can get it right from Blizzard, just like they did with StarCraft. So not a huge surprise, but it is interesting that a company their size is pushing this far and this hard into digital downloads and digital content distribution and skipping over the retail side of things a little bit.
Which will be at midnight Pacific Standard Time on December 7th.
So you'll be able to download it at midnight?
Yep.
So instead of going to your GameStop and standing in line, you could actually be home playing.
It was the same thing as StarCraft, so I wonder if they're going to let you do the preload like they did with StarCraft.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Then you just activate it at midnight.
This year. So I hope you all enjoy yourselves and have an awesome weekend. We
now
really
he's saying
want
goodbye.
You guys to have a great time.
He's saying have an awesome weekend? Oh, and
for
now.
a major update on Diablo 3.
Diablo 3.
It over to our Senior Vice President of Creative Development,
Chris Metzen.
Here comes Metzen the reindeer.
Love Chris Metzen.
So Morhaime leaving the stage saying "see you soon." Does that mean he's just not coming back? Or all we get's Diablo 3?
I bet that's all we get. I think Metzen is it.
BlizzCon.
So Diablo 3 is our only announcement. It's what it looks like right now.
I got to be honest with you. Walking out onto a stage, it was pretty. Very American Idol, as a matter of fact. It kind of tripped me out. But, wow, I feel like Bono. That's really crazy. Thank you. But, guys, it can be a little nerve-wracking, a little intimidating walking out, talking to an audience this big. And for the past month or so, I've been thinking, consider, like, what do you say?
He hasn't said much yet.
Hear about your games.
No, he hasn't.
And as I took a step back,
Just so people in the chat room don't think we're mesmerized. There's nothing to really say it.
Specifically, I was struck.
Yeah, the fact that we're just sitting here staring at you means if you're not hearing the audio, if you're not following along, then
so guys, by way of doing like a little, I don't know, so experiment here, I want to roll a number of words out at you.
Now he's doing his opening shtick, which isn't numbers for him. He's going to throw out words.
To say or yell or scream the first thing that pops into your head.
It's free association
as I roll
time.
out these words.
Oh,
should we throw out the words too?
Yeah, let's do it.
The first word is...
First word. Horde. For the... Yeah.
Get him, Horde. Second word. Diablo.
Diablo is the second word.
Third word.
Horde Diablo.
Third word.
Alliance. A lot of booze.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Come on. Come on, Horde. Fourth word.
Fourth word.
Actually,
meat.
I want to make a little pithy statement. I'd say something like, have you guys played any good RTS games lately?
Played any good RTS games lately, Scott?
But that would be lame, so I'm not going to do that.
I have.
No, he's not going to do
word is
Fourth
StarCraft.
StarCraft. Diablo, Alliance, Horde, StarCraft.
Hope you guys are
all together in one game. No, he hasn't said that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm struck by responses, right? The power of words. What I hear, I respond. I hear passion. I hear energy.
Now he's talking about passion, energy.
Identity.
People
And
like.
that's pretty crazy.
People like these games.
And I have to stop.
Absolutely true.
Hey, I've got cotton mouth like you believe. It's crazy. It's not for the reason you think.
This has got to be the big announcement, right? This is the second half. They're letting Metzen make it. It's about Diablo 3.
Everyone loves Metzen.
I have a
that should be a show.
For you guys today.
Because he's a freak.
Take a kind of a detour from the usual BlizzCon type thing. We're going to get into a very strange space. I have a word to share with you. And this word can be...
he's killing me.
Fairly contentious.
He is really dragging this out, yeah.
It is a word...
He's got another word he wants to give you.
Many different parts of speech, colorfully, often. This dirty little four-letter thing...
It's a dirty little four-letter word that he's about to say.
Can make many very uncomfortable. In some spaces, it can be crushing. In others, it can be energizing.
All right.
But as, I don't know, a community of gamers, as a legion of fans, I feel that it's important that we can talk about any term in a mature and adult fashion.
Okay, get to it, Chris.
He's asking us to be mature and adult.
So this word, my friends...
The word is...
As I get out my robo-clicker, boy, I hope this works.
He's got a presentation. He's got an illustration.
Are you ready for this word, BlizzCon?
Yes, my gosh, say the freaking word.
Guys, come on.
The word is...
You sweet, sweet man.
Is it bird? Bird is the word?
Give me a second here.
Oh, he's got to take a drink of water now. He's playing the audience like a deck of cards.
That's right. He was born in 1794.
I see how it is.
The word is meat? I don't know. Could be geek.
The camera keeps picking out the cute girls in the audience.
Right.
Is detour.
Detour is the word? That's not 4 letters.
The word is this.
Oh, now he's bringing it up on.
Dude.
The word is geek. Somebody called it in the chat room. Hey, this is perfect for Current Geek tonight.
Yeah, it is. What does that mean?
Power of words. This word, guys, this word is power.
This word is power, says Metzen.
This is our word.
This is the empowerment of geek on stage live at BlizzCon.
Change it up this year and
2010.
Maybe walk through a few illustrations of what this word means to many of us.
Oh, great. We're not hearing anything about Diablo 3. We're going to hear about what the word geek means.
And boy, will I show my age by these slides. And guys, periodically...
I don't know how to live cover this.
I don't know.
This isn't an announcement. This isn't anything if you're not watching you're going to really care all that much about.
Let's practice.
Geek is. So, what is he? Just trying to neuro-linguistically program the audience here? Into
I think
loving
what it
their
comes down to is this is the kind of stuff Blizzard just isn't good at.
Geek is growing.
This is fan service to the people in the audience, really, not really us.
Yeah. Playing with toys, so complicated.
So he's talking about playing with toys. There's got to be some thread to this that's going to lead to the Diablo announcement somehow, right? Right?
You'd hope.
Geek is dice. Yeah, 20-sided dice.
Trading on a natural 20.
Natural 20s.
My friends, I suggest to you
You rolled natural 20s, right, Scott?
Oh, yeah.
Crushing your enemies.
Cursing your enemies? Boy, I don't know about you, but my stream is just getting hammered.
Yeah, my stream's getting thrashed here.
For some of you younger geeks in the audience, is in fact our governor. You idiot! All right. Geek.
He got political and mentioned Schwarzenegger.
This has to be leading to something.
Does it?
I gotta think.
This guy's shield pinging off of Nazi helmets. Get him, Cap. The man. Geek.
Now, some folks in the chat room said that Blizzard is providing the opening keynote stream free if you haven't paid. So if you do want to go to blizzcon.rayv.com, RAYV, you can follow along yourself.
Oh, that's cool. That's a nice way to give people a little taste.
That's a nice way to use up all the bandwidth from us people who've actually paid. Thankfully, though, you can use Slingbox to watch it if you've bought it on DirecTV, and we want to thank them for their support of TWiT Live specials. Anytime you come across a breaking news item in tech, go to twitlive.tv, follow the story, get the latest from tech experts like Scott Johnson, the host of the world's most popular World of Warcraft podcast, here to help us make sense of Chris Metzen and the announcements at BlizzCon. TWiT Live's breaking news coverage is brought to you by Slingbox. Use a Slingbox to get your favorite television shows, anything on your DVR, anything at home, anywhere you are. You plug it into the internet, you plug it into your cable television or your satellite, your television, whatever, and then you can watch it on your phone, watch it on your laptop, wherever you go. You could be watching BlizzCon on your phone, not because they're providing it that way, but over Slingbox. So check it out at a Best Buy near you, or go to slingbox.com/twit for more. Meanwhile, back to Geekiz coverage. Chris Metzen is on stage at BlizzCon, supposed to be, allegedly, talking about Diablo 3, but right now he's talking about what geek means.
Yeah, they're basically, he's going one by one through hallmarks of sort of stuff we're into, which is really interesting if it leads to an announcement, because what the crap could they be working on?
He's not wrong in what he's talking about, right? I think he's nailing that stuff.
Yeah.
Geek is Diablo 3? I don't know.
Geek is remembering
that
there is, in fact.
My stream is really cropping out.
He's showing... They're showing, what's it called? I can't even think of the stupid name.
I don't know. I can't see it now. I'm in buffering land.
Well, now they're showing Spider-Man. People are shaking their heads.
Doesn't seem to be the other stream, so if you want to try to get it up again, by all means.
Yeah, I think if you just hit that live button,
yeah, I did. Clear up. That killed it. Now it did. Now it's buffering. It'll be buffering.
They're showing the original Doom, which is cool. Nice nod to their friends over at id Software.
Boy, I agree with this. They're stretching this out, too.
Yeah, they really are. That's what I'm saying. This can't just lead to nothing.
No, it's got to go somewhere, right? It has to. Just has to. Otherwise, it doesn't make any darn sense. And Metzen may be out there, but he makes sense, right?
The faces
aliens now.
Well done, BlizzCon. Come on. Don't leave me here. Oh,
I'm way ahead of you now.
Geek is Alien. Oh, Sigourney Weaver, particularly an alien.
Geek is giving props to the undisputed baddest chick in the universe.
And that would be Sigourney Weaver, the baddest chick in the universe.
Yep. I'm going to predict the future. Next one's Thor.
You're ahead of me, aren't you?
I can't wait for this movie. Geek is this guy dispensing indiscriminate justice with his magic hammer.
Well, this has been going on for, I don't know, about 10, 12 minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you. Geek is
Battlestar Galactica. He's not wrong.
Matt, you know, we almost didn't even deserve how good that show was.
I'm back.
Geek is learning that home really is where the heart is. Especially considering, you know, your planet just got nuked to Kingdom Come.
Your planet just got nuked to Kingdom Come, of course, showing Cataclysm.
Geek is exploring the vast...
Oh, they're talking about EverQuest, dude.
Oh, they are? That's an EverQuest shot?
He's saying Geek is, you know, enjoying the game with your friends in EverQuest. I mean, that is a real nod to what started this genre. EverQuest is, you know, they own the rights to that, to the 3D MMO market.
We keep switching back and forth between two different feeds.
Without EverQuest.
Here. And as soon as we switch to one, it freezes or falls behind. Or anyway.
I miss Halas.
I miss Halas, says Chris Metzen. Oh, is it 300?
300.
Geek is holding the line against
this is going on a long time.
This better be something special.
It's not uninteresting. If I were in the audience, I would be into it. I'd be like, yeah, this is cool. He's showing a bunch of geek stuff.
Watching
Warcraft 3.
Oh, he's moving slowly. He's circling Blizzard.
Watching the graceful Na'vi.
The graceful Na'vi.
Across the twilight fields of Pandora, yada, yada.
So an Avatar reference now.
Pardon me. Geek is
Locutus of Borg. Next.
Locutus of Borg. That's right.
Notice, I refer to him by his Borg name because they're showing him as the Borg.
Is never futile.
Metzen says resistance is never futile.
Anyway. Geek is.
There are 4 lights.
Hey, what are they showing?
For those of you who do not recognize the image, it's the original DM screen from AD&D back in the day.
Original DM screen from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Mega. Guys, Geek is sitting around a table with your best friends.
Talking about tabletop gaming.
Armed only with graph paper and funny dice, and imagining far-flung worlds of your own.
Right. Far-flung worlds of your own. Yeah.
My favorite
interesting.
Now, they introduced him as the guy in charge of Diablo 3, but...
Well, he's in charge of everything.
Yeah. Geek is the One Ring, forged in Mordor.
Geek is the near perfect cinematic realization
The near
of the
perfect
story
cinematic realization of the story that started it all, referring to Lord of the Rings. And
Mr.
the movie,
Jackson,
actually,
wherever you are
at the same
today,
time.
we thank you.
Star Wars
Peter
is up
Jackson.
next. What do you bet?
Geek is.
Geek is Star Wars. How did you know?
I'm going to break this down. Guys, Geek
Here's what he's going to say.
is watching your kids
Watching your
looking at
kids
Star Wars for
looking
the
at
first
Star
time.
Wars for the first
God,
time.
I'm choking up.
Yeah, he's getting teary.
And wondering
It is cool.
if it will transform their little imagination.
This is coverage of BlizzCon's opening ceremony, opening keynote 2010.
Star Wars, y'all.
Right now, Chris Metzen has been going on for about 15 minutes about what it means to be a geek. So if you're confused, that's what we're talking about. Now he's showing Superman.
The Alex Ross Superman, in fact.
He should be showing
Geek
Veronica.
Is believing.
Geek
The
is
reason
Veronica
we love
Belmont.
These characters, these worlds,
You can
these
get the actual keynote
1,000 more
unadorned by
like
our
them.
comments free at
It's because
blizzcon.rav.com.
there is a hero inside
I would
every
suggest
one
doing
of
it
us
both.
waiting
both of
to
us.
come forward.
Then what we are saying actually makes a little more sense.
Hammy as it sounds, my friends.
And once
I
we get to
believe
actual
that with
announcements,
everything I've
we'll
got.
be providing some useful interpretation
and, I hope by
and
some
color
extension
commentary.
You feel that in our games.
This is just like watching it with your friends. Geek is actually watching the BlizzCon 2010 ceremony and having the TWiT stream going at the same time.
I was going to say, Geek is sitting here with Tom over a stream that we can't actually play, talking about it, being totally into it. That's pretty geeky, if you ask me.
Who we are. You know,
So he says, I hope you enjoyed that description of who we are.
Sorry, guys.
Apparently this has nothing to do with anything else.
Phase 2 of the operation.
Maybe he's just passionate about geeks.
Yeah, obviously is. Yeah, I mean, he nailed every one of those things. He didn't make
guys,
a misstep,
the
in my
point of
opinion.
this, to some degree,
Oh, here's the point. Yeah.
is that our company builds giant video games.
BlizzCon builds.
We run
Blizzard
massive
builds
online
giant
worlds,
video
right?
games.
And sometimes it can feel like big business.
Nah, it feels like big business sometimes.
But it's important to remember, right? For
Feels
all
like
the
that every time I see that
high-tech bells and whistles all around you in this hall, and all the demo stations and crazy flashing video screens. The truest spirit of BlizzCon is you. This is about our collective geekiness. And how it brings us all together.
So this is about our collective
Guys,
geekiness.
Imagination and sharing these games and
well,
these
I think we got
ideas
that
with
over
your
the past
friends.
16,
It's
17
about
minutes.
having fun. It's about inspiration. So on behalf of all my brothers and sisters at Blizzard Entertainment, guys, I want to welcome you once again.
He's welcoming
BlizzCon.
you once
Thank
again
you
to
for being
BlizzCon.
here.
In case you didn't feel welcome
was it,
the
dude?
first 40 minutes.
That can't be it.
No, that can't be it. That's not it. That's not it.
I just want to thank you guys for letting us geek out with you. You know, we all need it. So, with all of that having been said,
we've
got some business to discuss.
Some business to discuss. Here we go. Diablo 3.
Okay, here we go.
Diablo fans, where are you at?
Back to the keynote now. You know, I wonder, was there something that was supposed to be in that space that got pulled?
Diablo fans, for the past 4 years,
you
we
could
have
always
been
surmise
debuting
something
the
like that.
latest
It's not that far off to think that they may have pushed something a little bit.
Yeah.
for Diablo 3.
That was a nice chunk of
This
time that
year
would normally have been
will be no different.
devoted to an announcement of some sort.
Yeah.
In mere seconds, actually, we
Mere
will show for
seconds,
you
they're
the
going to
fifth
show
and
you
final
the fifth and
player
final
class
player
for Diablo
class
3.
for Diablo 3.
That's not as cool
to
as a
do that,
release date,
guys,
Tom.
Relax.
What's
sit
that?
back and feast
That's
your
not
eyes
nearly as cool as a release
on
date.
this.
Not yet. No, it's not. But they're going to show us cinematic now. And I'm not going to.
It's the Paladin, dude.
The cinematic.
That I guarantee you, that's a Paladin.
So we're gonna take a little chance and show this because I know this will be on YouTube later.
Yeah, we'll be okay with that.
Someone survived.
And I'm going to talk over it, which transforms the use, makes it fair. If you want to see it unadorned, switch over to the actual Blizzard stream, which is free right now, by the way. They're letting you see the opening ceremony for free, which I think is a pretty cool way to get people interested in possibly paying for the on-demand. And it reaches out to a bunch of fans that this is the most important stuff that they're announcing today.
You probably ran until you couldn't take another step. I remember that feeling.
Ow! Don't do that. That's going to hurt your hand.
I had no choice. You always have a choice.
Crap. My stream is dying.
Yeah, my stream froze up here, but thankfully this one that we're showing is still working.
We're going to die here, aren't we? No.
Yep, you're going to die.
As long as I'm here, they are the prey. And
you should
I
really clean that arrowhead.
am the hunter.
The hunter, eh?
There you go.
Yeah, but that hunter's wearing plate,
Diablo hunters get to wear plate, I guess. Ooh. It is only partial plate, but maybe that's because she's a female. Hard to say.
She's partial hunter.
She's only partial hunter. So get some good gameplay footage here. This is great.
Yeah, this is good. This was expected.
Yeah, it's nothing blowing you away with. It's nothing shocking, I guess.
I will never stop killing.
Well, Veronica's like, what's that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean is they always scantily clad their women in these games.
A choice. Hunted.
Well, they know their audience.
Hunter.
Demon Hunter. That is our announcement here. Demon Hunter.
Sounds like you liked it.
Did you like it, Scott?
The Demon Hunter.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Demon Hunter.
A great deal of fun, guys. I just want to remind you. I'm
a huge Diablo fan, dude. I can't wait for this game.
Take some time this weekend. Stop.
I think a Demon Hunter is cool.
It's
right?
badass.
Not as cool as a release date or a new game announcement. If we get no new game announcement today, that means we will not hear anything else about it until next year, right?
Worked very hard on this
that is pretty much true. They're not going to save anything till the end. They don't do it that way.
You ready for this?
Are you ready for this?
PvP Battle Arenas.
PvP Battle Arenas next.
And to illustrate, we have another video. Enjoy.
All right, so we got another video. Should we risk it again? Yeah, let's do it. We're just showing the cinematics portion, the portion you'll be able to find publicly anyway.
Yeah, so a lot of this stuff is actual in-game rendered stuff, like that last bit was.
This is not my thing, Scott. Do you like playing the PvP?
Not in World of Warcraft, but it's a very different experience in Diablo.
And how is it different? I mean, in Warcraft, you're in a world where there's a bunch of other people already, and then you go into a certain area and you go against them.
Well, you're right about that. It is. I mean, it's essentially player versus player. But the difference for me is the control scheme. It's such a different way of controlling your character with just a mouse, essentially. That it creates a very different dynamic in player versus player style.
Now,
so it'll be very different now. But whether or not it'll be better, I don't know.
Are you a keyboard masher?
I do not like PvP in World of Warcraft at all. Not a.
But you control your character with keyboard rather than mouse. You're not a mouser.
No, I use my mouse as well, but it's kind of a combination of things. In Diablo, it's all mouse, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for
I don't like having to use my mouse. I guess it's fine in StarCraft. I do use my mouse in StarCraft mostly, but I use the keyboard for Warcraft. All right, so
the question is whether or not this will be in a compelling PvP experience, and time will tell. But the current one in WoW is just not my cup of tea.
Nothing like
I don't mind a winter grasp right now in Warcraft though, because there's so many people. It's almost like you're not even PvP.
You'll be able to show up, pick your favorite class, and beat the brains out of each other, right? So
they got playable Diablo.
Doing that this afternoon
in the.
I don't believe we're not hearing about a fourth IP.
Guys, as we
about 12 minutes.
This opening ceremony.
Oh, he's talking about wrapping it up.
What was I thinking about? Oh yeah.
He lost his place.
I want to know where the Warcraft fans at.
Oh, now I asked where the Warcraft fans are. So we know everything about Warcraft announcements.
Guys, as you know, I think earlier this week, we released the cinematic trailer.
Earlier, they released the
just going to show it again.
Are they going to show it again, or are they going to show a different one?
I suggest to you, if you haven't seen
I think they're going to do the
like
same thing, and they're basically claiming that this will be a greater experience on a big screen.
Engineers have kind of come up with a cool,
not so great for us.
Sonic,
no.
As it's on the same screen I watched it on the first time.
At this time.
In higher resolution, you might add.
Relax.
Everyone should relax, says Chris.
And while keeping your hands and feet to yourselves, I want you guys to close your eyes. I'm serious.
He's asking everyone in the audience to close their eyes.
Your ears.
And listen.
I want you to listen.
He's really into this.
To the grinding sounds of the tortured earth.
Oh. The grinding sounds of the tortured earth.
Ancient stones of Deepholm.
All right.
And the first
it's just the video.
Pangs of the Cataclysm.
So this is the first bit of the Cataclysm. Is this different then? Let's listen.
It's going to be the same.
Is it really going to be just audio? It looks like it is.
I'm guessing it'll be video too, but
it's very dark.
They're going to show. Listen for Metzen's telltale voice when you hear him talking.
All right, let's listen. I'm very relaxed. Are you relaxed?
My eyes are still closed.
Whoa.
Pain. My hatred burns through the cavernous deeps.
Geek is.
I think this is the same cinematic. We're so gonna
I think you're right, Tom.
I think this thing about just listening was a trick. Yeah. Something got dropped from this opening ceremony. That's my suspicion. It's not based on anything but guessing. But, you know, you're finishing with the cinematic you already released. And
yeah,
honestly, a great job for people in the audience to say, like, hey, just close your eyes and listen to really enjoy it in this huge arena. That's not a bad thing, but it's not how I would expect this to end.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that there's something they held back on.
And that Geek Is thing went on for the amount of time of an announcement, right? Something
yeah, a lot of that
should
stuff feels like, yeah, it's like last minute improv. Hey, Metzen, can you come up with some idea? We're not going to have all that time for the thing.
And again, not a bad way to fill it, honestly. Like, it was pretty interesting, but not an announcement.
Yeah. It's an incredible opening.
Oh yeah, if you've played Warcraft, this will blow you away. If you haven't played Warcraft, it's still impressive looking.
Beneath the shadow.
But
yeah,
just seeing things you're so familiar with being destroyed, it plays to my. I like destruction movies. I like disaster porn, so this is definitely appealing to me. Especially when that wall of water is coming out Stranglethorn Vale we saw earlier.
Especially to watch the human city get just hammered like that.
Because the world
feels
ends
good.
not with a bang, but a whimper. Actually, the world ends with a bang and a lot of whimpering. Metzen does his Deathwing and voice to say, "That's it. Enjoy the show." And people are leaving. That's it. That's all we get. No date even for Diablo 3. Just the Demon Hunter announcement.
Yeah, that wasn't. I'm not. As much as all this stuff is cool in its own right, I feel like we did not get anything. We didn't get anything major. Nothing that was sort of suspected anyway. And now that you were talking about the movie before, I would have liked just even some. Hey, we're still working on the movie news would have been bigger than what we got.
Yeah, I think that what we're experiencing here at the beginning, we didn't realize it. When they kept saying, kind of several times, we put out 2 games this year. StarCraft 2 and Cataclysm coming December 7th. By the way, did we mention, for the first time since, what was it, 98? We put out 2 games. I think they were sort of trying to lay the groundwork of, when all we announce is Demon Hunter and no Diablo 3 date, don't get too mad. We put out 2 games this year. We don't have time for anything else.
It feels a little bit like they were, I don't know, kind of spicing up the pot a little bit to say, all right, well, look, we may not have given you a ton of new stuff to chew on, but look at what we've done, and we did all of it in between the last BlizzCon and now. You should all be really happy about that, and we've already given you these other things like the cinematic, like the release date for Cataclysm, and now you're still sort of left as a viewer of BlizzCon a little empty, in my opinion, because as the meat of this thing is mostly about community, but secondarily it's about what huge thing is happening, and so far not a huge thing is happening.
Yeah, this is going to send. I can already tell by looking at the chat room. This is going to send a lot of people away with a bad taste in their mouth, and that's unfortunate because it's not like they did something bad in their opening ceremony. This happens a lot of times with these sorts of announcements. You get so hyped up and expect something really cool, and then when you get the actual announcement, it's disappointing. And I think it does point to the fact that we're going to have a pretty killer announcement from Blizzard next year. Nobody wants to hear that now.
I just don't think it would have killed Blizzard. This is my own opinion. It wouldn't have killed them to hold on to. Now that we've seen what we've seen, they could have held on to the release date and the Cataclysm video and done a big simultaneous web launch, had it on YouTube at the same time they show it here, and really blow people's minds. Had those two things been in this keynote, that would have been an impressive keynote.
Yeah, it really it does make you wonder. I mean, on one hand, I sort of want to respect the idea of like, hey, it was ready. Why fake it? Why hold it for 2 weeks just to make a fake announcement? It might leak out anyway, the way things are with the internet these days. Let's just put it out there and be done with it and announce our announcement at the keynote. But Blizzard is good at keeping secrets. Were they just afraid it was going to leak out? Did they know it was going to leak out? And so they figured out, well, what the hell? We'll just put it out there.
It's an interesting point. You could actually have a conversation about what would drive a company like Blizzard, who doesn't really need much publicity or need to perform a coup against other competing games. But all of this sort of came on the heels of, hey, look at us over here at Turbine. We've made Lord of the Rings Online free to play, and we've tripled our revenue. We've sold more of these than we ever had before. We have 300% increase in usership, and we're making more money than we did in the subscription model. That kind of stuff coming out is kind of interesting news. And all of Blizzard's stuff seemed to come on the heels of that, like right after hearing some of this stuff about other games and them finding out that DC Universe Online was being delayed until early next year. That came a little bit after. So I'm just saying some of these other factors that don't usually bother Blizzard. Like Blizzard normally just doesn't budge or care when other companies make announcements. But in this particular case, to say, hey, well, we have a release date and here's this awesome video, all ahead of BlizzCon seems weird because we're only talking a week or two at the very most.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if they had replaced that bit where Metzen talked about how cool it is to be a geek with a premiere of the cinematic and a bit of talk about what's going to happen at Cataclysm and a release date, and that stuff had not been announced before, then all of this makes sense. And even without new IP, even without a Diablo 3 release date, it all kind of feels a little more satisfying, a little more what you'd expect. Maybe slightly disappointing, but not as big of a, really, that's it, as we got this time.
Yeah, I completely agree. So who knows? I mean, the rest of the show does yield some results. Some things may change based on what we hear on stage compared to what they said to us a couple of months ago on forums or something. So there's still room for some interesting announcements in the panels, both in Warcraft, in Diablo, and in StarCraft. We may hear a lot of things that we didn't know before. I just think anything that's considered like a huge, one more thing kind of announcement, that's kind of come and gone. And I don't suspect we're going to hear much more between now and the end of the event tomorrow. But that doesn't say some cool, juicy stuff won't come out. That also doesn't say that Blizzard won't take it out. So I don't know if people remember this, but last BlizzCon, they got up and they touted this awesome new Path of the Titans system that was going to be in Cataclysm. And 2-3 months ago, completely ripped it out of the game. Totally gone.
Yeah.
Not
Which is funny
at all. It's not even...
They were showing a trailer for Cataclysm on DirecTV this morning in the kind of routine of stuff that plays before the coverage starts, and Path of the Titans is still listed.
I noticed that too the other day when I was on Blizzard's own YouTube page. They still have last year's announcement trailer, and of course it still talks about Path of the Titans. It's too bad to see features like that drop. They're not afraid to do that, but that particular thing made me wonder. This year if we see something that won't later on kind of bite us in the butt. But I think on a little bit unrelated note from the Diablo coverage that we've had so far, I think that game is looking amazing. What we saw in the introduction of the Demon Hunter is what we saw last year with the monk, and that is in-game, rendered on the fly footage. That game is going to be able to tell cinematic sequences in a really cool and special way, probably along the lines of what they did in StarCraft, but it looks a little bit more dynamic, and that excites me quite a bit because that means more story, and more story makes Diablo better. So I'm very excited about that. So there were things to take away from this and love. I just, coming into it as a fanboy who wanted some big, huge announcement, he's just a little disappointed.
All right, we are, and that's a good point to actually come back and say, hey, there was an announcement here, and actually it's pretty cool. May not be the one you wanted, but it's all right. TWiT Live's breaking news coverage is brought to you by Slingbox. You use Slingbox to watch your favorite TV shows. I do it with BlizzCon. I buy it on DirecTV, and then I watch it over Slingbox wherever I am. I got to go to my my father-in-law's birthday tomorrow, which normally would mean like, oh, I'm going to be caught away from my subscription for a big part of the day. Not a problem, though. I can actually pretend to pay attention at the birthday dinner and be watching BlizzCon under the table over Slingbox with my phone. So check it out at a Best Buy near you or visit slingbox.com/twit. Thanks, Scott.
No problem, man. I can't wait to see you again at 2:30 my time, 1:30 yours. Thanks, everybody who listened, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
All right. Take care. Bye, everybody.